Hello, students, class 9th English. This is the second part of the chapter number 7, The Last Leap. Yesterday, you watched the part number 1. Very interesting and touching story written by O. Henry. Now, remaining half part explanation I am giving in this particular video. So, students, are you ready? Let's move on to the half of the explanation. Very interesting. Now in the past part, what had happened, the Sue was not listening to John C, and she was saying always that I'm going to die. Now I'm going to begin the explanation of the second part. Sue rushed down. Berman lived on the ground floor. Sue went downstairs to the ground floor of the house where Behrman lived. He was a 60-year-old painter. His lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece, but that had remained a dream. Sue poured out her worries to Behrman. She told him how Johnsy was convinced that she would die when the last leaf fell. Behrman was a 60-year-old painter. He aspired to paint a masterpiece. Sue discussed Johnsy's condition with him. She said that Johnsy was sure that she would die when the last leaf fell off the ivy plant. Is she stupid? Asked Berman. How can she be so foolish? Berman commented that Johnsy was being silly. She's running a high temperature, complained Sue. She refuses to eat or drink, and that worries me a lot. Sue said that Johnsy was suffering from high fever. She was not eating too. Sue was worried about her. I will come with you and see Johnsy, Berman said. Now Berman is going with Sue now. Berman went to see Johnsy. They tiptoed into the room. Johnsy was sleeping. Sue drew the curtains together and they went to the next room. She peeped out through the window. There was only one leaf on the creeper. It was raining heavily and an icy cold wind was blowing. It seemed as though the leaf would fall any minute now. Behrman did not say a word. He went back to his room. They entered the room quietly. Johnsy was asleep. Sue drew the curtains and they went to the adjoining room. Sue looked out of the window. There was only one leaf left on the creeper plant. There was heavy rain accompanied by strong cold winds. The leaf was due to fall any moment. Behrman did not say anything and went back to his room. Johnsy woke up next morning. In a feeble voice, she asked Sue to draw the curtains. Sue was nervous. She drew back the curtains very reluctantly. Feeble, here the meaning is weak. The next morning, Johnsy woke up and in a weak voice she asked to Sue. Two, okay? Oh, she exclaimed as she looked at the vine creeper. Look, there is still one leaf on the creeper. It looks quite green and healthy. In spite of the storm and the fierce winds, it did not fall. Sue was glad as she announced that there still was one leaf on the creeper. It appeared green and healthy. It hadn't fallen despite the storm. I heard the wind last night, said Johnsy. I thought it would have fallen. It will surely fall today, then I will die. Still, Sue is feeling that she will die. Johnsy said that she had she had heard the winds the previous night. She had thought that the leaf would definitely fall. She added that it would fall that day for sure and then she would die too. You won't die, said Sue energetically. You have to live for your friends. What would happen to me if you will die? Sue said that Johnsy would not die. She had to live for her friends. She added that she would become lonely if Johnsy died. Johnsy smiled weakly and closed her eyes. After every hour so, she would look out of the window and find the lips still there. It seemed to be clinging to the creeper. In the evening, there was another storm, but the leaf did not fall. Johnsy lay for a long time looking at the leaf. Then she called out to Sue. There was another storm that evening, but the leaf did not fall. Johnsy kept on looking at it, and then she called to Sue. I have been a bad girl. You have looked after me so lovingly, and I have not cooperated with you. I have been depressed and gloomy. The last sleep has shown me how wicked I have been. I have realized that it is a sin to want to die. Now, this is the realization of the patient, that is Johnsy, that how the last sleep is still is there on the tree, okay, on the creeper. Johnsy said that she had been a bad girl. Sue looked after her while she did not cooperate. Okay, Sue hugged Johnsy and she gave her lots of hot soup and a mirror. Johnsy combed her hair and smiled brightly. Sue was glad to see the change in Johnsy. She, she got soup for her. She gave her mirror to tidy her hair. Johnsy was happy and bright. It is a climax now. In the afternoon, the doctor came. After examining his patient, he told Sue, Johnsy now has the will to live. I am confident she will recover soon. Now I must go downstairs and see Berman. He is also suffering from pneumonia, but I am afraid there is no hope for him. The doctor visited that after that afternoon and said that the desire to live was back in Johnsy. He was sure that she would recover. He went downstairs to check Berman, who was suffering from pneumonia, and there was no hope that he would recover. The next morning, Sue came and sat on Johnsy's bed. Taking Johnsy's hand in hers, she said, I have something to tell you. Mr. Berman died of pneumonia this morning. He was ill for only 2 days. The last day, the janitor found him on his bed. His clothes and shoes were wet and he was shivering. He had been out in that stormy night. Janitor, a person whose job is to look after the building, meaning of the word is also given here. The next morning, Sue sat beside, this is the climax now, the, the conclusion of the story. The next morning, Sue sat beside Johnsy and told her that Berman died that morning. He had been ill for the last 2 days. The caretaker of the building had found him in his bed. His clothes and shoes were wet and he was shivering. He had gone out at night during this storm. Then they found a ladder and a lantern still lighted lying near his bed. There were also some brushes and green and yellow paints on the floor near the ladder. Johnsy dear, said Sue, look out of the window. Look at that ivy leaf. Haven't you wondered why it doesn't flutter when the wind blows? That's Berman's masterpiece. So you can see that Berman was also feeling that one day he will draw a masterpiece. He painted it the night the last leaf fell. A ladder and a lantern were lying near his bed. Paint brushes, green and yellow colored paint, were also lying nearby. Sue asked Johnsy to look at the leaf. It did not flutter when the wind blew. It was the masterpiece that Berman aspired to paint. When the last leaf fell at night, he painted this one. And in this way, Berman, the painter who had a aspiration to draw a masterpiece, he drew the masterpiece and saved the life of a young girl, and he died himself in this story. This is the message, my dear friend. So you are not going to lose hope. And that's why young children try to be very courageous even if you are falling in the trouble sometimes in your life. So this was all about this story, my dear friends. Okay, thank you very much for watching this part 2. In this way we have completed this complete story, The Last Leap, written by O. Henry. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.